Welcome back to Biashara Tuesday. It's been lovely having you and also having that patience to stay with us. Right there, what we had is a conversation with the guys who are organizing Beneath the Baobabs, and it's a festival happening over at Kilifi from December 30th to the night of 31st. So if you want to be beneath the baobabs and enjoy Kenyan contemporary culture and music and food, that is a place to be. Check out their website. You'll be able to have more information and relevant details on how you can participate as a volunteer, as a media partner, or even just as an attendee who wants to go there and just see what kind of contemporary and alternative art, music, and culture that is being displayed from all over the world. By the way, there's over 60 artists, 4+ stages where they get to perform 24/7 for 2 days and 2 nights. So check that out, as we even also encourage you to attend the festival, which is being organized by Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja. Right about now, we're trying to take a look at how we are maintaining road safety. Yeah, it's a festive season. Watu wanahakikisha kwenda nyumbani. People will be traveling at night, traveling as a group, traveling as individuals. How do you stay safe in this period? People will be having a lot of fun late into the night, making their way home early in the mornings, or even just rushing from one place to another, trying to have a very exciting festive season. But we are also encouraging that you're staying safe, and we are trying to see what exactly you can do, even on an individual level, but even on a community and an institution-based level. National Transport Safety Authority has been, of course, a key player in that multi-sectoral approach to ensure that road safety issues are made an integral part of all government programs and projects. These requirements also apply to university programs and projects. We're going to see that as well. And I'm having here Mr. Samuel Musamba, who's the manager of safety programs and education at NTSA Kenya. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself and maybe tell us how exactly or what kind of mandate is there for him at the safety programs and education at NTSA, and then can segue into this conversation. So if you have any questions on road safety concerns, design of roads, anything that you have, please do send them to us at KUTV Kenya, at Richard_Kenya, and we'll be relaying them to Mr. Musamba. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Benguere. Thank you for having me around here.
Yeah. How are the roads now that we are?
It's terrible. This morning, actually, it's taken us almost 30 minutes just to get through here. Thika Road is wet. I think all the roads now are wet.
Yeah.
Because of the rains.
Yeah.
And majority of us don't know how to drive during this time. You want to do 100 speed,
and you can't even see
2 vehicles ahead. So there's a lot of that, and also most of the drivers are not putting on the fog lights, which is a requirement during this kind of weather. So it's really bad, and our advice to all drivers now, even as we go into the festivities, it's going to be raining. The weatherman says that. So let's just be cautious as we move along this road.
Right.
Yeah.
National Transport and Safety Authority, you are the manager of safety programs there. So maybe just a little introduction to who you are and what you do at NTSA.
Yeah, thank you, Managuri. My name's, like you rightly put, Samuel Musamba. And at the National Transport and Safety Authority, I head the programs and the education. It's just one of the functions that the authority does. Largely, we are an agency that looks at matters road transport and safety. And if you look at the road transport and safety as an area that we handle, it has so many issues, so many things. The road is there, the vehicles are there, and the users are there. So then largely, you want to look at then how do we make sure that all these segments are safe. The road user is safe on that road. The road is safe for use. The vehicles are safe for use. So then that means you have to come up with so many initiatives, so many programs that actually will try to address some of these issues. So largely, the programs that I really look at are programs that are geared to ensuring that all these segments are safe. Some of the programs are educational, just creating awareness around the issues. Some of the programs are really going to even research, just to address some of those challenges that to do with the safety of the segments that I've talked about. Quite a number of programs that we look at to ensure that everybody is safe on these roads.
All right.
Yes.
Maybe on a, and I'm going to put in this on a very light note. I hope I don't offend anyone at NTSA. Back then, the person, I think a few years back, the person that was feared most on the road was an NTSA officer. Even traveling up country sometimes with my folks, sema hapa tutulie kidogo, kuna watu wa NTSA kwa hii barabara. That is because, of course, before now the scariest organization on the road to meet is Kenya, which are always alert, just as NTSA always was, and it's a good thing, when you look at it from the side of road safety, ensuring that every road user is adhering to all the regulations that are there. But maybe just to build up on that very light note, how scary are the statistics on these roads? Because such initiatives like Kenya always ensuring that they're aware of what is happening, NTSA also ensuring that road users are adhering to regulations, point out that there's something scary going on in the background. And how is it?
Well, scary is a is a heavy word for us. Not that we were scaring people on that road, but I'm telling you, Manangura, is that the challenge we are facing as a country is so big when it comes to matters road transport and safety. And sometimes why we come out so strongly like this is because of the things that we see. It's the reality on the ground. People are dying on these roads. Today, as we sit here, somebody is either getting injured on that road or is dying on that road. I was just looking at the statistics when I was coming here, up to where we are now. Already, just to get very specific, we've already lost over 4,000 people.
This year?
This year. Just up to this time that we're sitting here. It was 4,315. If you compare that with the last year, at such a time, we were at about 4,100 and something, 198, yes.
So the cases are going up?
Are going up, notwithstanding the injuries that are in thousands, both slight and serious injuries. They are going into tens of thousands. And then if you look at the victims, the people affected on this road, it's everybody. Everybody. Pedestrians, who of course they're leading, and particularly in Nairobi, they are the leading. The boda guys are there. They're also way up there. Drivers, passengers, pedestrians, children. So the roads are not... if you don't respect the roads, then they will not respect you at all. And they don't respect our persons, they don't respect our titles, they don't respect our vehicles. It doesn't matter which vehicle you're driving on this road, you will die.
It's not like I have a big machine, expensive car, I won't get into an accident.
We lost the governor of Nyeri. I mean, that was a Mercedes-Benz, right?
Right.
So which you would relatively say, that is a good car. So it is not a respect of anything or anybody if you don't respect that. So while we come out strongly to talk about safety and advise Kenyans to really be cautious on these roads, is because of the statistics that we look at. And they say numbers don't lie. If you look at these numbers, this is just the beginning of December. And when it comes to December now, all the madness comes in, the travels and all that, the drinking and driving and all this. So we are projecting that if at all people don't take this seriously, if they're not cautious at all, this number may hit 5,000. And that is a number that we have never hit. We have been doing about 3,000 thereabout. But not good enough, because these are lives of people.
Right.
So you can imagine now if we hit 5,000 and the injuries now will be times, even 5 times of that, that would be really sad. And some of these injuries actually end up as deaths, And so when we look at that and when we come out with interventions and we come out strongly like this, Kenya start blaming us. How wanatukalia sana. But we know, if only we can be cautious a little bit, if only we can be patient a little bit on our roads, if only we can be courteous a bit on our roads, these numbers will actually come down. Largely, the highest contributor to these numbers is just behavior. 90% is just the way we behave. Nothing else. I always tell Kenyans, it's not rocket science here. It's just the way we behave. Why would you want to speed in such a weather? Honestly, this kind of weather condition. Why would you want to drink
and
drive at a high speed and expect to just get home, safely like that? The notorious ones keeps telling us, gari inajua nyumbani. Which vehicle knows home?
Ati gari inajua nyumbani.
It's you driving. So why you tell us gari inajua nyumbani? When did the vehicle actually ever speak?
Ever drive itself?
Drive itself. There must be somebody. Why would you belt up because there's a policeman ahead of you? Or because there's an NTSA officer just ahead of you? You know, why should I keep reminding you?
It's not to be about the officer, it's about you.
About you. Right. So the more we get this into ourselves, the more we get this as our culture of doing things that I don't need to be reminded of some of these things, then the better for all of us.
Right.
You know, yes.
Right. So is that what streamlining of road safety means, and how exactly are you going to be doing this?
Yeah, one of the strategies that we have now come up with as government is to mainstream road safety in all government agencies. And we're even taking it further, that we mainstream it also in the transport sector, and even further to the private sector as well. Now, the whole idea behind road safety mainstreaming is just to culturalize road safety, to make road safety an integral part of our lives. So that nobody reminds you when I'm belting up. Nobody reminds you not to speed. Nobody reminds you that, hey, you've taken one too many. You don't have to go into that vehicle. Nobody reminds you to maintain your vehicle. That is the whole idea behind road safety mainstreaming, that we make it our daily routine, our daily life, our culture of doing things. And so we began this by introducing it in the government agencies. All ministries, state departments, and agencies are now doing it as part of their performance contract. So in the performance contract, there is that you have to meet this particular target, and including institutions like Kenyatta University. All these institutions now are actually having it as their performance contract.
All right.
Now, at the end of the day, when you look at the advantages around when you embrace road safety to become part and parcel of this institution, there's so much you save, Banamuri. Look at the lives you're going to save. If people are aware that, hey, I don't need to do this, I don't need to speed, I don't need to drink and drive. Look at how many lives you're going to save. So many. Those of us who are not driving, for example, those of us going to use boda out there, other means of vehicles out there, students, for example, and they are aware of this information. And they will know, if I'm on that vehicle, then I should be careful. If I'm on that vehicle, I should belt up. If I'm on that vehicle, then I see a driver who is drunk and speeding, I should report him somewhere. I should not board an overloaded vehicle. So it becomes common knowledge among the people, you know. Look at the institution like this. In terms of vehicle maintenance and the kind of vehicles you are purchasing, if you mainstream road safety, then you're talking about, you have to be very careful in terms of the choice of vehicles that you buy, the maintenance, the trainings for the drivers. You know, everything will be around safety. Even recruitment, by the way. When you're recruiting your driver, you'll be looking at, are they road safety savvy? Do they know that? So you go beyond the so-called the good conduct. I even don't know who vets you for good conduct anyway. You don't go for any interview. But we go beyond that and look at this driver from a road safety point of view. Yeah. Beyond even just the certificates you're giving us. You know, when you go for interviews, you pose like you are this very good guy, this angel, this guy who does so well. But where the rubber meets the road is really the actions that you do. So then we look at all that. It's a whole 360 kind of approach to road safety. So that we make it really our daily culture. And this has worked. When you look at the way HIV was done,
it was quite a difficult
task. But these days, you can't even tell who was HIV or not, isn't it?
Right, because
people have it as a culture that I need to protect myself. Nobody tells you to buy a condom or to protect yourself and this kind of thing. It's almost normal, isn't it?
Right, true.
That is the level that we really want to take road safety to.
And we can get there.
We can get there, yes.
Yeah.
We're now in the 3rd year of mainstreaming. We did it the 17th cycle of the performance contract. Now it's the 19th cycle. We are hoping 5 years now, down the line, I'm sure we'll be talking about safety everywhere.
Yeah, right. And it will be a different conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Remind you.
Here I see also in 2020 is when the National Transport and Safety Authority, NTSA, signed a memorandum of understanding with Kenyatta University to support, of course, road safety management in Kenya. And we can see there, of course, the signing happening on our screens right there with the Vice Chancellor, Mr. Paul Wainaina. And this collaboration is to provide a platform to research, innovation, and academic partnership. Some of those key areas I was taking a look at, and this is information you can get on the Kenyatta University website, is the use of technology in road safety. And maybe I want us to maybe stay a bit on that before I move to the other key areas. The use of technology coming in very handy, and also at a time when this is a very important discussion happening on a national level. Yesterday, the president saying that the theme of Jamhuri of celebrating independence at this point now, this year, we are taking a look at technology and how we can innovate, connect, and inspire to ensure that we are, making a digital revolution in most, if not all, aspects of the economy. The use of technology in road safety, how does it come in? And maybe so far, how has NTSA, including Kenyatta University, been able to apply this, and what can we expect into the future?
Yeah, I think what the president was talking about yesterday, embracing technology, is here with us. It's a reality. We can't run away from it. And we are so happy that when he came out strongly yesterday, that they're even going to create an express road, super highway,
yes,
to ensure that people access digital services everywhere. And we're so happy about this. One of the things that we're doing as an agency in matters of transport and safety is really to embrace technology. If you look at most of our functions now, we have gone digital. Gone are the days when even accessing your license was a nightmare. People used to queue at Times Towers the entire week
to wait for
the license. I remember when I was getting my license many years ago, I had to send somebody to queue for me. Umefika wapi? Nimesoma kidogo. Umefika wapi? And the guy says, jua inawaka, I need lunch. So you have to buy him lunch to literally stay on the line, for you to access this document.
Dark times.
But today, we are happy that you can actually access it online. So all our services now are really online. The platforms are open. We have a system called Transport Integrated Management System, TIMS, which every transaction, every function that you want to book services for inspection of your vehicle, just go online there. All payments are made online. So there's nothing like human contact where people say, that is now a thing of the past. So we've really automated our services from registration, vehicles, licensing, the DLs. All this now are really on our platforms. And that is the way to go.
Right.
We even now looking at the license we have, which is the digital license now we have.
Yes.
Because we have completely phased out those red books. We don't
need to be carrying papers anymore. Yes. And nowadays when I get a police officer who asks me about my driving license, I just tell them my national ID and they check it online on the spot.
Things are moving.
Yeah.
And we also take it now to next level of having instant fines. So you don't need to be taken through all the dramas on this road.
Because you made a wrong turn.
I mean, most traffic offenses are criminal offenses. So we're looking at a way of can we improve efficiency in terms of enforcing that, that you can just swipe your fines and we get that. But that also will have another rider to it, because we want to introduce the demerit points on it. And these are in other jurisdictions, developed countries. I mean, that happens.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. You lose points over time, then we tell you, Bananguri, you're no longer going to drive. I mean, you have to go back for retraining and retesting before we give you the deal.
Yes.
And this is going to work, because then we are tying that responsibility to the way you are doing things on the road, the way you are, so that the license makes sense to you. It's not just a document that you carry to show the police, but it gives you that sense of responsibility. If I don't drive well, if I make mistakes, then I'll lose points. If I lose points, I'll no longer be on the road.
Drive, yes.
And that means you are grounded. If you go to other jurisdictions, you'll see if you are grounded, it means a lot to you. You are done.
You cannot get to work, you cannot do business.
Exactly.
Right.
It becomes too expensive for you. So we're looking at that, and even the enforcement now for the police. we also building their capacity in terms of embracing technology.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to go, you stop a vehicle, you have to go around this vehicle looking for, I don't know which kind of documentation.
Mm-hmm.
Just a matter of keying in the number of the vehicle, get all the information on your phone,
mm-hmm.
and know why this vehicle actually is roadworthy. If this vehicle has complied with the regulations that are supposed to be there, this driver has he complied, then you just check online. Is this a stolen vehicle? Is this a vehicle that is registered in the country? Be able to verify all that. And that should be able now to inform in terms of enforcement. So we're really embracing technology, and actually, if you look even at our staff, we have a very young staff.
Who are, of course,
technologically savvy.
Yes.
And that's really a big requirement we look at, even in our recruitment. We look at really, do you have a background to this? Because our systems are automated. How do you want to come and work with us?
Na nataka kutumia typewriter.
Typewriter ama kuandika makaratasi.
So now, in institutions, just like what we've seen here with Kenyatta University, and I'm hoping, of course, you're going to be doing this across other institutions as well. And you mentioned there, as we talked about technology, there's data, which is really important. Data on compliance, is this data on some of those demerit points. And data analytics is also one of the very important or key areas which are included in some of these partnerships, like the one with Kenyatta University. I wonder, is there also maybe some technology in the vehicles themselves to maybe for the institutions to be able to monitor how their vehicles are driven, if they're giving if they're sticking or they're being disciplined in how the routes in which they're taking. Let's say Kenyatta University needs to send a driver to Western Kenya. Are they sticking to that route? Is that kind of technology available to these institutions through NTSA?
Yes, as we are mainstreaming road safety in these institutions, one of the key areas that we are really imploring institutions to have are institutional policies, workplace policy on road safety. And as a policy area, one of the policy areas is fleet management. How do you manage your fleets to ensure that they're actually safe? You know where your vehicles are, you can track them, you can track the speeds and all that. So it's a very key policy area that we are really advising institutions to really embrace. And I will tell you this, that if you look at most institutions, the kind of vehicles now they have, which include buses, which include pickups and all that, one key area that we're really advising them to do is to have speed governance in those vehicles, to limit certain speeds. So when you have a very elaborate, a very good fleet management system, then you're able to monitor even those speeds. You're able to monitor the harsh brakings. You're able to monitor even the crashes that would happen. So that your vehicles don't go, they are doing other business and you think they are actually working, officially somewhere, but they are actually doing other business. So that is an area that we are really helping institutions to develop, have a system that will actually ensure that you monitor your drivers, monitor your vehicles, and all that. And that, through that policy, the institution have, which I know Kenyatta University now has a workplace policy on road safety. I'm sure that is a policy area that they are looking at.
Right.
Yeah.
I have here a couple of some of those achievements that Kenyatta University has been able to do during this journey in streamlining road safety, and I'll be going through them just in a short while. But as we also prepare to have a look at that, maybe just you are the manager of safety programs and education. So in these institutions, such as Kenyatta University, in what way does education come in ensuring that also mainstreaming of road safety is done, even from a curriculum point of view? Is that something that we can also be having a look at?
One, in terms of education, is creating this necessary awareness around road safety, which I'm happy that you're even giving us a platform like this to share with the community of Kenyatta University and the country at large. So that awareness, and I know there's a committee in place that steers the mainstreaming process at KU, is a road safety committee, because that's what we advise them to come up with. That's a structure that will coordinate all that. So public awareness and education is key for that committee. Two, in terms of trainings, particularly drivers our proposal is that drivers must be taken for good trainings, courses that actually support them in terms of understanding safety, not just any other courses, go for defensive driving and other trainings that are there. The transport officers also, there are specialized trainings for them as well that we're even providing. We have courses that we're providing for that, so they should be able to go through that. One other key that we are pursuing as an MOU with Kenyatta University is research. That are we able to undertake some research with the university? Well, that is really, our intervention is supposed to be evidence-based, evidence-informed. So how do we get this kind of evidence? We have the data, yes, we have information out there, but are we able to go a mile further and maybe do some research? So it's an area that we're exploring, and hopefully as we keep mainstreaming road safety, we should be able to undertake some research with the university. And I'm sure the university is a very fertile ground when it comes to research. You have the capacity, you have all these, you can do it actually. So we are looking forward to also that. One other that we're really pursuing with the university is, are we
maybe sorry, maybe just I've been just reminded quickly to have a look at a few of these achievements that Kenyatta University has taken, as you even go on with that, of course, highlighting what kind of partnership NTSA has been able to do with Kenyatta University. And here I see, of course, appointment of the University Road Safety Mainstreaming Committee, as you already mentioned, with 7 members who are under the chairmanship of the Registrar Administration, tasking with ensuring that the university is remaining compliant to road safety mainstreaming obligations and to steer road safety mainstreaming within the university. There's also development of a policy on road safety that is aligned to some of those NTSA guidelines that you just mentioned there. Preparation of an annual work plan for each quarter for road safety policy. They've conducted technical training for members of road safety committee and also sensitization of the management team, and this is an assistance, of course, by the NTSA. 79 of these drivers have been sent for training and defensive, on defensive driving, as you'd also mentioned there. All drivers are, properly licensed as well. They've undertaken current financial year to train 100 members of staff on transport section and mental health. And this is really important. It's good that when you're driven by a driver, you show that their mental health is in a good place. And in this era, it's important that we are seeing this also as part of mainstreaming road safety. The university has also erected 2 additional bumps as a speed control measure within the university. And the university on quarterly basis circulating road safety information to the university community, and I can attest to this. I've seen some of those flyers on road safety. The university also carries out road marking activities within the main campus in Q1 and Q3 of every single financial year. Speed limiters in all the buses, as you said, speed governors in all the 22 buses, 8 minivans and other lorries, and this includes speed tracking mechanism to know the location, and also some of those crash brakes, hash brakes, as you called them earlier. Car tracking devices, and also observing, of course, here the World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Crash Victims, which is globally dedicated to the remembering of the many millions who are killed and or injured on road crashes. And we are seeing that this, the university also submits quarterly reports to NTSA in a prescribed format before the end of the 15th of every end of the quarter. This is a very robust relationship you have with Kenyatta University.
Yeah, and I'm so excited. Honestly, when you're going through this, I'm almost clapping.
Yeah.
And you can see, when I was talking about mainstreaming road safety, it's so robust. It's a whole 360 kind of approach. It touches on vehicles, it touches on the people, it's even touching on the roads, and you can see what the university is doing. Now, we are glad that the university has embraced this. One, they have even a committee in place that is steering all these processes. Two, look at the awareness they're creating, among the community. Look at the training for the drivers. It is such commendable. Look at even the vehicles, the way they are taking care of the vehicles,
right,
in terms of maintenance, in fact of speed management, and all that. the only thing I could say is that all this should not be just for the marks.
Right.
Well, I know in performance contract people rush for the marks.
Like, yeah, this is our report.
Yeah, we have done
well.
we have done 100, that's it. I would really wish to implore to the registrar, to the university community, that let's make this our culture. Let's not make this just a PC requirement, just for marks alone. Let it go beyond the PC. That we do these things continuously. We want to see more bumps. We want to see more signs continuously.
Right.
It must be a continuous process.
It has to become a culture.
A culture.
And I have to say, I'm also as well excited, just as you said, to see this. I almost clapped, just that I know I can't do that. But I've seen this, more road signs in Kenyatta University, and I'm really happy to see them sticking to the NTSA guidelines, including training and even the ones that I can see, like markings on the roads and directions. There's a map at the gate of Kenyatta University to show you directions, to make sure that you're not even going to areas which are designated for students to walk. There are pathways for pedestrians and also cyclists. Even people who want to do skating around the university have a dedicated place where they cannot interfere with the traffic. And that's the only thing I can maybe also commend and ask the registrar to take a look at, is to bring back the shuttles. I miss them. And yes, those are a very good sight to see, but very commendable work. Now, maybe just to round up this conversation on road safety, maybe expand it a bit to a national platform. We've seen every single morning when I come here, I read comments from Nairobi residents who are asking the governor and the relevant road authorities to ensure that there's human-centered design, which is being put into consideration as they design the roads, the flyovers, and the pedestrian walkways in town and out of town. I don't know if there is something you can say. Maybe I know for sure there's a bit of capacity still left for us to fill, and maybe some recommendations that you can give, or that you can maybe make us aware to know that this is in place, whether through NTSA or the government, into ensuring that even more of our road users are taken into consideration as the designs are being made.
Thank you. I would say we've come a long way as a country. You remember, Bonagure, the many days when a number of roads had so many potholes. This Thika road was a nightmare.
Right. Just take 2 hours from Thika to Nairobi.
And I remember coming to visit my brother who teaches around here. I could get lost so many times, end up in Thika town, back, and all that. So we've really come a long way. But that notwithstanding, a number of the roads for a long time have been designed just for motorists alone. If you look at a number of roads in Nairobi, at least now there's an improvement, but then they were only designed for just motorists alone. They never took care of the non-motorized transport users, the pedestrians, for example, the children, the cyclists, the elderly, and all that. So those are some of the things that us now as an authority, we don't construct roads, but we plug in, we come in and advise the road agents that, look, it's a good road, yes, but as we are looking at the user, because at the end of the day, it's the user who really matters here. It can be a very good designed road, but is it accommodating the user? Is that space safe enough for the pedestrian, the child, the elderly, the blind guy who's using that road? So we've been doing that, and we are happy that most of our recommendations, the road agents, because we are in the same ministry anyway, has been taken up. Where there are no road markings, they actually do that, because we do audits. We do road safety, audits on these roads, and we're able to advise, accordingly. And I would say that largely, almost 90% of most of the roads are now okay. It just now depends on how does the road user interpret some of these things. I see a lot of issues on Gong Road where the lights are. Most of the junctions have been lit.
Right.
But see what happens. It's red and we are still walking. It is green, we are still walking. So, so you wonder, when shall we ever stop? I mean, do Kenyans really understand even these lights?
Right. Including pedestrians who think maybe the lights do not apply to them.
Exactly. They just want to walk and walk. And that's why it has even forced the city to even use the police to keep stopping us, keep reminding us, hey, look, it's now red, it's now green. So, but in terms of infrastructure, I would say there's quite a lot of improvement. Government has really done so much. Perhaps now the onus is on us as road users to interpret this space and see how do we use this space safely. But of course, there are also other roads that still need a lot to be done. Look at Outer Ring Road.
Yes.
Well designed, but it's a road that is killing so many people. Just because the road designers missed out on some of the safety facilities. So that is a conversation is also going on with the road agencies to ensure that there are provisions, proper provisions for the non-motorized users, create space for them. We're happy with the city, at least when NMS was there. You could see, in sometimes these days you walk on some of these streets and you wonder, where was this space?
Yeah, this space, I didn't see it before. There was a matatu here 2 months ago.
Somebody was selling wares here. There's so much space. You can actually walk from Milimani, those side, comfortably all the way to town. And people now enjoy even walking.
Right.
There's a lot of space.
True.
There's no human and vehicle traffic conflicts on majority of these roads. So we're hoping that with more expansion, with more of these provisions, and even for cyclists, we hope that things are going to be a little bit better.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you very much for, of course, getting us an insight into how the government is currently working, how NTSA is working, and also maybe the partnership with Kenyatta University, a very key indicator of how mainstreaming of road safety is being done from an individual basis to, an institution and a community as a whole. All road users, pedestrians, cyclists, and motorists as well being taken into consideration in this conversation, ensuring pia wao ni stakeholders of how we are going to streamline road safety. And this being the festive season, of course, Mr. Samuel, I'm just going to ask you in your final remarks to a reminder to the people who are traveling, this period, having fun, some of the things they can be taking into consideration to ensure they are still safe. We are still getting to the new year together. Isikuwe tu tunafikiria hapa, while also road safety is not something we think about. So umesema people just go drink, anangoja gari ipate njia kwenda nyumbani. I remember some time back during when we still had alcohol, it's people almost set up WhatsApp groups to wako hapa na hapa na hapa na hapa. So this is the new route we are using today, and it sounds like you're helping someone, but you're helping them towards a very dangerous direction. So your call out to Kenyans, and then we can wrap that conversation.
Thank you so much. I want to speak to Kenyans, and very passionately about this, that the festive season is here. It's good. We need to marry, dance a bit, drink, and do all manner of things. But this is a season that, if you look at our statistics, is a season that we call the most high-risk season for all of us. So as we plan to go, wherever you go to, please plan your journeys. Journey planning is one major key area that we really have a challenge in terms of us as travelers. If you plan your journey well, you will have rests on the way, you reach early, and you'll not have all these problems of speeding and all these manner of things. You will not do that. So plan your journey very, very well. Don't be this last minute dash of 24th. Saa sita usiku, I must get home because labda kule nyama inapoa or kuku inapoa or the beer is getting cool. I don't know. But just be, if we can be a bit responsible and just plan ourselves. And even look at the mathematics around traveling as well. You want to travel the whole family at this time. And you want to, in this small car, you want to bundle the whole family there. I think probability teaches us to play a bit with this mathematics. I mean, you can challenge that sometimes. You don't have to gamble and just put the entire family in this small vehicle of yours, and you risk the entire family, and the entire family just perish. We have seen that. Why can't other people travel separately? I mean, we have to tell the story at some point. The next thing I want to advise Kenyans is, please, as we do this, don't drink and drive. If you must drink, then have somebody designate who does not drink. That is quite important. As you travel also, I know a number of us are going to hire vehicles. A number of us are going to travel on roads that we have never traveled. We have never gone to a village for the last 1 year. Some of us even 2 years. Now this is the time we are going there. These are new roads for you. So as you go there, please be careful, be cautious. Speed kills. Don't speed on these roads. Be aware of whatever is on these roads. I also want to advise that if we can travel during the day, the better. Night travels are so risky. And on these roads again, nights, there are these drivers now who have LED lights on their vehicles. You'll be blinded and you'll just crash yourselves. So if we can plan our journeys and travel during the day, the better.
Right.
For those who will be passengers, please avoid vehicles that are already overloaded. And there will be a lot of that now. Movement here and there. If you want to go, we'll be at country bus. All of us want to go at the same time. Don't board any vehicle that's already overloaded. Any excess is risky, is dangerous, and also we'll be on the roads to do a lot of enforcement. So we'll be checking also on this. Look at the vehicle you are going to use. Is it compliant? Is it a vehicle that is roadworthy? Don't just board any vehicle like that.
Right.
And lastly is look at the drivers who will be taking you for those trips. If you realize a driver is speeding, you realize a driver is drunk, please get that information to us or report to the police so that we are able to take care of that.
Right.
Always belt up when you're on those vehicles. Don't wait for the police to tell you to belt up, or belt up for me as the NTSA. Please, it's for your life. Usalama huwa tunasema unaanza na wewe mwenyewe. Ni jukumu lako. I mean, please, it's your life at the end of the day.
Right.
And the more we handle life with dignity, the more we look at life as a special thing to us that God has given us, then the more careful we shall be.
All right. Thank you very much there. Of course, maybe just one sentence to other institutions. I know you've been working with Kenyatta University since 2020 to streamline that in universities. Just one sentence to other institutions as well who are watching, University of Nairobi and the rest, on how they can be doing that even before they strike a partnership with NTSA.
Wow. For other institutions, remember this is in the performance contract. As long as we're in government, this is a requirement. So the institutions that have not mainstreamed road safety, and I know there are quite a number of them out there, this is something we can start. It doesn't require resources, a lot of resources. It's something we can start. First things first, can we have a committee in place that will steer the process of mainstreaming road safety in your institutions? So I want to give you as a clarion call to all other universities, whether in government, whether private, out there, the TVETs out there that have not started this. Please, 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 let's start mainstreaming road safety.
All
We
right.
can still work with you. We can create this awareness. They are required of resources.
Right.
We can do this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel Musamba. He is the Manager of Safety Programs and Education at NTSA Kenya. We've tried to put into perspective this conversation on road safety mainstreaming in institutions and also in the national platform at large. So ensure you're getting those tips and noting them down. If you missed any part of this, remember it will be on YouTube at KUTV Kenya. You can get to read more on what Kenyatta University has done with NTSA, but also get to hear what NTSA is doing for every other road user. So usalama unaanza na wewe, so take that into consideration as you go into the festive seasons, and we will see you safely even after you come back. Asante sana, Mr. Sambo.
Thank you so much.
Have yourself a good day.
Thank you so much.
Now, I am going to be taking a very short breather for a few seconds, coming back with Akoth Atieno, who is the founder at Ulisa Kenya. We're going to learn about it, and it's a neat wear brand. So wale watu wa fashion of business of fashion is coming to you in a short while. Don't go too far. Interact with us on all social platforms.